Hey everyone, it's Alex Meller at Capnion here. This video is an advertisement for human-centered AI, thinking about what do we do with this thing, and a little bit of a slight polemic against obsessing over the next new model. Last week we were all obsessing over DeepSeek, and me too, but I actually think the hot new, marginally better LLM is, in the bigger, longer term course of things, not as important as it looks. The hallucination problem, for example, which I think is one of the more important semi-technical issues for business, nobody claims that's getting solved here. And I think it might actually be qualitatively intrinsic to what an LLM is. Meanwhile, if you talk to everyday people about what they're using these things for, it becomes very clear that business is a little bit behind on what do we do with this. And I would say with a lot of conviction, just getting your company to a place where everybody has good access to these tools, you're sure that everybody is working within the right guardrails, and better yet, there's some training and a little bit of knowledge sharing about what are people impactfully doing to improve productivity. If you're actually doing these things, and a lot of companies aren't, that's pretty huge. Let me drill down with a bit of an example. We all have this idea of some science fictional AI world where AI does everything. Right now, a person needs to sit down and work with the AI for a lot of applications, and inevitably, maybe all applications if you include some kind of occasional quality control. You talk to individual people that have supercharged themselves with AI. Invariably, when you talk to these people, to the extent what they're doing is occurring in a larger organization, the story is very often that their productivity has nowhere to go. Let me be very specific now. So a schema of super user, and if this is you, great, I think you're on the cutting edge, that I see a lot out there is someone, interested in writing code and using scripting languages to improve their productivity. So, for example, if you work in spreadsheets a lot and you're moving around a lot of spreadsheets, making a lot of changes to all of them, getting really good at Python for automating these things, or any number of other Visual Basic scripting languages, probably other stuff I've never even heard of, it can make a lot of difference. There's a lot of advanced tools for automating this sort of work. You talk to people a lot that were interested in writing in a language like Python and just kind of never got over the hump feeling confident. I would say in general, AI in its current form is really awesome for the first 15 and the last 15% of building confidence with a new skill. So now that you can lean on an LLM, you're writing Python scripts to do some kind of white collar task you were doing at scale over and over again. Furthermore, you can call the LLM again inside your script to do more sophisticated, reading natural text that would occur as part of this process. And LLMs seem to be good enough for this if you know how the process is supposed to work. So you talk to these people who, forgive me, what's our most and least favorite term in certain sectors of business? Synergy. So it's not just the LLM that sped them up. The LLM had this synergetic effect with all these other skills they were trying to build to automate things and streamline their life. And now they're moving a whole lot faster. So I would say among individual efforts, among people that are motivated and interested in AI, this super productive AI world is here in a certain form. And then when you talk to these people about how these things go in larger organizations, once again, it's just trench warfare of, well, you're not allowed to do this, or you totally automated the job in theory of someone that works on a different team on a slightly different branch of the upside down tree of your organization. And typically what happens in these situations is nothing. Nobody's looking to person A for ways to automate the job of person B out of existence. Realistically, these things are political and anthropological and regulatory, so we don't really live in a world where business is going to just drop somebody or even reassign them or even reevaluate their workflow only because somebody else sitting at the desk next to them is really good at AI. So, at an organizational level, things are going at about the same speed, it seems, even though some of the individual people are capable of going much, much faster. These are all things I'm saying about technology that's available for use today. And in a lot of cases, it's really sketchy, but people are doing amazing things at work on their free personal ChatGPT account. And all of these things point to, if you're interested in these things, getting on the cutting edge in a way that's impactful for business might not be a story about investing tons of money in an IT shop to build your own LLM. I think there's really amazing value in just sitting down, A, and making sure people have the right kind of safe access to these things, and then B, sharing best practices and talking about how this productivity has someplace to go. Because often it does not. And if this interests you, I'd love it if you talk to me because I have a lot of things to share. The opportunity is very real, I think.